Episode 113, Choppy.
Let's do this thing, man. How you been? We took a
Been
week
good.
off. Sorry, folks.
Been good. I've just been patiently waiting for the Super Bowl. College basketball, I've been on a heater, smoke show, some would say, kind of like my wife, smoke show. And then NHL's been good. Last night, though, I was 1-2. The Vegas Knights helped me out, but the daggone Philadelphia Flyers, that team sucks. And they're
Probably
like
need to stop
2 and
betting.
4. Oh, God bless.
Let that one go.
Philadelphia. No wonder those people are so angry. Their sports suck. But
Yeah,
other than that, I'm good. How about you?
good, man. Just busy. I can't believe we're into February, and the beginning of the year was just wild. So take a breather. I need a trip. I need to go somewhere.
Like to thank our sponsor, Core Power, for all they do for us. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, I need one of those today for sure. All right, what are we talking about? What are we hitting the people with on this week's episode?
Well, I mean, the big game. The big game.
Well, yeah, we don't want to start that at the beginning though. We want to ease into it, right? Tease them a little bit.
Yeah, okay. Who am I to argue? What about Lindsey Vonn? Start there.
Dude, I think she's a gangster. Like
She is a gangster.
If you completely rupture your ACL and you're like, yes, I'm still going to ski down this ridiculously dangerous mountain when I have both my ACLs intact. Dude, she's a gangster. I hope she medals. It will be one of the greatest Olympic stories if she has torn this thing and somehow, even if she gets a bronze, is somehow able to grab a medal in this thing, like her last Olympics.
I'm betting it just so I have rooting interest. But yeah, like Lindsey Vonn is so gangster. It's like I relate it to like Kobe, right? All these guys now, and I don't mean to be like whatever about it, but these guys, like, they tear their Achilles. There's a bunch now, and they're like rolling around on the floor, screaming and in tears. Kobe tears his, limps to the free throw line, bangs in 2 free throws, and walks off.
Yeah, they don't make them like that anymore.
Yeah, they don't make them like that. So Lindsey Vonn, Bustin Chops Callin Shots is pulling for you, girl. Absolutely. I hope she tears it up there. Not the ACL. She's torn up with those. But I hope she tears it up on the slopes.
Yeah, she's didn't she date didn't she date PK Subban from the Predators, the hockey player?
No, me and her dated for a little bit, but it didn't work out. I found Robin, and that was all I needed.
No, I'm saying, like, she has that hockey player mentality of like, we're injured, but we're still gonna play. Doesn't really matter. It's not like the NBA where they get a hangnail and they're like, we need to be out for 3 months, coach. We just can't do it.
The NBA, aka the no bank account league. Listen, this whole thing, did you see the Wizards?
Didn't they trade for Anthony Davis?
Listen, and then this wackadoo on ESPN has the audacity. They asked her, right, who made the biggest splash? And she was like, I'm not going to say her name out of respect, but she's like, the Wizards. They got Trae Young and they got Anthony Davis. And I wanted that guy to be like, haven't combined, they played 5 games over the last 10 years combined together.
Not
like,
much.
When's the last time Anthony Davis played? I'm glad Dallas shipped him off. I don't need anybody getting in Cooper Flagg's way, because you want to talk about gangster? Yeah. Cooper Flagg is a gangster.
Yeah, he is.
He's a gangster. Anthony Davis and Trae.
Can't stay healthy, man.
I said this during the draft. Trae Young will score a lot of points and will accomplish nothing. And then somebody, when they traded him from the Hawks, I forget what network, but they was like, yeah, well, Trae Young's going to have his jersey in the rafters. For what? They need something to catch Maltz up there to keep him off Dominique's jersey?
I don't know. I cannot watch the NBA.
Listen,
it is a joke of a league.
Trae Young ain't better than Mookie Blaylock, for God's sakes. Remember Mookie?
I can't watch it, man. I can't. Louis grew up, I feel like, in a great time for the NBA. Like, we both got to watch Jordan. We got to watch the Spurs with Duncan and Robin. Like, we got to watch good basketball. Now it's not watchable. They're whiny. They don't play. Load management. Yeah. I can't even do it anymore.
I will say this: this next version. So when I say that, this next version, like Anthony Edwards, if he's not hurt, he'll play. Devin Booker, now he gets hurt a lot, but he plays. Cooper Flagg, Con Knueppel, Bridges of the Hornets, LaMelo Ball. Like, you got some guys that'll suit, like Austin Luka. I mean, if Luka's not hurt, he's in the lineup every night. Jalen Brunson in the night. So the league is actually going, and I said this. Remember me? We said this 2 years ago. Like, the best thing that'll ever happen to the NBA is to get past this whole LeBron, Durant, Kawhi, where everybody's told me how great they are.
Yeah, they need to retire all of them.
And all my comeback has been, yes, they're probably three of the most talented people to ever step on a basketball court. But outside LeBron, the Kawhi, and the Kevin Durant, all you did was underachieve because you were either a wuss or you smoked too much pot. This next group, like, and there's some kids in college, some good character get like this Patterson kid at Kansas. Have you watched this?
Great. I love college.
Have you watched this Patterson at Kansas?
I try not to watch Kansas because I hate them. But
Chop. This dude's the truth.
I know. I'm probably gonna go. I'm gonna probably go a little bit at the Big 12 tournament.
And the kid from BYU. Oh yeah, you get to go to the Big 12 tournament. You're so lucky.
Yeah, I've been trying to get you to come out here and go for years, and you
know me. I got the Patriot League, for God's sakes.
Yeah. You just you won't come out and hang out with me and watch college basketball. I'm here by myself.
I got family, kids, travel sports. Softball, basketball.
Yeah.
Curling with the pit bull. We do it all around here.
Hey, there you go. Stay active. All right, let's jump into a little. We want to talk a little like coaching stuff. You have Kingsbury going to the Rams with McVay. Stafford's going to come back for another year.
Hey, listen, I just posted this on my X handle at Break the Board Sports, right? The rich just get richer. Like, it's so, like, I'll say this. Dan Snyder, they made him sell the Redskins, right?
Yeah.
How some of these other owners are allowed to still own their franchises is beyond me. Yeah. Like, I heard Woody Johnson was named in the Epstein files, and I was like, finally, make him sell the team. Like, the Jets have sucked for 60 freaking years.
Yeah, they've been bad for a while.
Right? Like, and then when you look at the Titans, don't
even get me started on the Titans.
You got rid of Mike Vrabel because he was a little edgy. Well, listen, it ain't all sunshine and rainbows out there. Not everybody gets a lollipop at work every day. All right. Like, now the guy's coach of the year in a great spot. And so when you see an organization like the Rams, well ran from Sam Presti all the way, or the owner who's willing to spend money, and you got McVay, and then they're like, well, we don't really need Kingsbury, but we're not going to let anybody else have them. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Or like the 49ers, they're sitting on a pot of gold because Mac Jones is the next Sam Darnold, right? A guy that was kind of written off.
Yeah.
Playing good. Like, he finds a good, like, if I'm Minnesota, I'm like, hey, John Lynch. It's kind of like that scene out of The Hangover. The Vikings call, hey, we screwed up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Can you bail us out and give us another quarterback there?
How do the Vikings have to feel after letting Darnold go for McCarthy?
Listen, J.J. McCarthy better be like Drake May next year, or the Vikings are just going to feel like a bunch of idiots. But to complex that, we talk about the Jets and the Titans, but look at Seattle, right? Everybody's like, man, even I was like, man, they traded DK Metcalf and they got rid of Pete Carroll. But it just goes to show why some organizations always win, right? Like, take Robert Kraft, for instance. He didn't get in the Hall of Fame, which is an absolute joke.
How did he and Belichick not make it on the first ballot?
Listen, here's the whole problem with the United States of America. We want to make everything political warfare. Yeah. And in doing so, we've lost all common sense of right, left, and in the middle, right? Like, everybody's either way on the right or way on the left. And then in the middle is us people that just want to live a decent life and use common sense. Oh, yeah, that's right. I mean, Robert Kraft, remember when he got to New England, they were nothing.
Yep.
They were the laughing stock of the NFL, right? And just to be clear, I know Belichick and Brady, but Robert Kraft has now been to the Super Bowl in 3 different decades with 3 different coaches and 3 different quarterbacks.
Yep.
And yet you have somebody like Jerry Jones, who, as much as I hate the Cowboys, he has did a lot for the game, but he ain't did what Robert Kraft is did.
Nah.
Not even close. So,
honestly, he's kept his team from winning a Super Bowl.
So now, you know, you have these writers, and I've always said this, it's the same thing with the Baseball Hall of Fame. I think the dumbest argument ever is we ban Pete Rose, shout out to the GOAT behind me, we ban Pete Rose, and now every commercial in between every commercial set on every sporting event, there's a DraftKings, a FanDuel, a BetMGM ad. There's all, like, the hypocrisy is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. And then, like, oh, well, Barry Bonds, steroids, we got to keep him out of the Hall of Fame. Listen, let me tell you something. Steroids has nothing to do with hitting a baseball.
Nah.
Before he took the steroids, he was one of the best hitters ever. Okay? Yeah. So you may not gotten as injured. But let's go back to Mark McGwire. Look, he was injured his whole career and put up 50.
Yeah.
Right? So, okay, the ball traveled an extra 10 feet. What else?
Yeah, when you're hitting it like 475 feet, that last 10 doesn't really make a difference.
I mean, he hit it completely out of stadiums.
Yeah.
What, you went and hit it in row 13 would make you feel better about yourself? Like, again, it's just the hypocrisy, and we let the pencil pouchers, and that's why I call them a bunch of nerds with little pencil pouch that don't know a freaking damn thing about sports, and they have all this power. Yep. It's just like on TV. I was scrolling around. Look, I give everybody love. Fox Sports, ESPN, give them all love. And I'm on ESPN, and they piss me off the most because it's Super Bowl week, and they're talking about Dak Prescott, and the Cowboys are a Super Bowl contender next year. And I just looked and I said,
every year there
are 2 guys on that set, and somebody that I really, really respect. She's a great personality. She's very intelligent. And all 3 of them are like, Dak Prescott, he's top 7, 8 quarterback, definitely top 10. I went through, and the best I could do was 12th.
Yeah, he's not.
It's like these people, Robert Kraft and Bill Belichick, you don't put them in the Hall of Fame. Then you got these organizations that are ran horribly, right? Like, let's talk about, everybody wanted to run up the hill and storm Normandy without a gun over Dan Snyder, but the Jets are allowed to do whatever the hell they want and ran a franchise over the ground. The Titans have been allowed to run a franchise in the ground.
Browns.
Cincinnati, what the Cincinnati Bengals are doing to Joe Burrow is a felony in 48 states. The only place that's allowed is New York and California, right? Yep. Like, it's just absolutely incredible and just blows my mind.
Here's the thing. So Kraft doesn't get in on the first ballot. Neither does Belichick. Do you think they do the unthinkable and Brady doesn't get in on his first ballot either?
What's that?
I said, do you think so? You have Belichick doesn't get in on the first ballot. Kraft doesn't get in on the first ballot. Do you think they do the unthinkable and Brady doesn't get in on the first ballot either?
Listen, if they don't put the greatest football player, and I want to be very specific about this, football player has nothing to do with athleticism.
No.
And I thought, I want to say it was Greg Cosell, who's been with NFL Films like 50 years. I think it was him and Jay Glazer, I think, were the 2 guys that said the thing about the Hall of Fame is when their name pops in, the first question should be, could you write the story of the NFL, the history of the NFL without them? And I thought that was very telling because, and I don't want to name names because I don't want to throw people out there, but Hall of Fame has gotten so, in the NFL and in the NBA, it is like we let everybody in.
Yep.
It's almost like a country club. If you pay the fee, you get in. And like, there's some guys in this class this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not saying it was I don't disagree with all of them being great players.
Yep.
But there are some guys in this year's class that if you're writing the story of the NFL, will never, ever be mentioned. They just won't.
Yeah.
They just won't.
So it was the class. We got, so the inductees, first ballot inductees were Drew Brees, Larry Fitzgerald, Luke Kuechly, Adam Vinatieri, and then the senior finalist was Roger Craig.
Okay, so Adam Vinatieri, you can't write the story of the NFL without him.
Nope.
He's the greatest clutch kicker, so many memorable moments, right?
Yep. Larry Fitzgerald, you can't. Second most all time.
Larry Fitzgerald, you can't write the story without him. He was just on a bad team, a bad franchise. That postseason he had, maybe the greatest postseason ever at the wide receiver position. Drew Brees, I mean, what he did goes without saying, right?
Mm-hmm.
But like, there's a lot of people, and I'll just pick on, like, I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, when I think Hall of Fame, right?
No.
Jerry Rice comes to mind.
Yeah, for sure.
Joe Montana comes to mind.
Yep.
Dick Butkus comes to mind.
Oh, yeah.
Mike Singletary comes to mind. Mm-hmm. Though I like him, Brian Urlacher doesn't come to mind. Luke Kuechly doesn't come to mind.
Nah, Kuechly was a monster, so I got to give him.
It doesn't matter.
But like, first ballot, no.
Like, how many guys are we going to put? Listen, I think Roger Craig was great. I loved Roger Craig. I'm a Roger Craig fan.
Yep.
He's not an NFL Hall of Famer, guys.
If you're not gonna put Bill Belichick in on the first ballot, you can't put Luke Kuechly in on the first ballot. You can't do that.
Like, there's just some guys. And listen, I feel like I've seen the best football because I've had from 83 to now. And I think the 80s and 90s were so great, and the game has evolved, especially at the quarterback position. If you were to leave Tom Brady out, it would just put the NFL in a position, which I really think baseball is in, where nobody gives a rip about the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, it's not worth going and walking through. Like, I look at the MLB every year, and I'm just like,
yeah, Major League Baseball has made their Hall of Fame irrelevant with some of the decisions they've made.
Absolutely, 100%. And so the whole crap,
which is heartbreaking, because I mean, it's the story of Major League Baseball. Like, it's such a great one in all the players in the Hall and all that. You've kind of ruined it by just stupid decision making.
Be pissed off about the steroid era all you want, but let me just tell you something. Without the baseball is America's pastime. And then somewhere in the mid 80s, it started to fall off.
Yeah.
Right. If you did not have, first of all, I'm just talking about all around baseball player, not the greatest power hitter, not the greatest, the greatest baseball player in Major League Baseball history, not the greatest home run hitter, not the greatest goal. The greatest baseball player ever is not in your Hall of Fame.
Yep.
Pete Rose is not in. And without the late 80s and the 90s, without Roger Clemens, without Barry Bonds, without Curt Schilling, without these guys, I don't care. You wouldn't have a league anymore.
No, you wouldn't.
So, like, get down off your, like, I don't understand I don't even know why writers have this power. I don't even know.
They should.
And the other thing is, it should be on a term, just like, it's funny. This is another thing. Sorry, we're going to go a little sideways. We let a president have a max 8 years, but we'll let a writer be able to vote on the Hall of Fame for 30 some years. Yeah. Well, I'm sorry, dude, but the game's passed you by and you're thinking about like 1960.
Yeah. Also, I think the Hall of Fame would be better if the living members of the Hall voted on who was allowed in, or former players instead of
look, Dion said this. We're just letting everybody in now.
Yeah. I think if you took whoever's still living that is in the Hall of Fame, they get to vote on who is brought in. I think it'd be a much better system. You wouldn't have this chaos with the writers. And then I think the prestige about being voted in by your fellow players would make it even that much better.
Well, and here's the thing. and this is what I don't think we understand. And again, somebody like Luke Kuechly, somebody like Brian Urlacher, I was huge fans of, still am. But there is a difference between a good player, a great all-pro, which those guys are, they're great players, and a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, you have to be able to distinguish between them for sure.
Yeah, like I'm sorry, I just don't agree. I don't agree.
I agree with you. A little bit of sad news we'll talk about. Speaking of the Hall of Fame, Sonny Jurgensen passed away today, 91. I grew up with Sonny Jurgensen, like announcing games. I always thought he was one of the best. His sense of humor, he was an amazing player. Yeah, it's a tough one for the Redskins community of all that. He was fantastic. Lived a great life, lived a long life. Man, listening to him announce games was always we would
turn down the sound on the TV.
We would turn the sound of the TV off and turn the radio on and listen to Jurgensen call the games because he was just, it made it. And so, yeah, he will be missed for sure. A great character.
Yeah, there has been in the game of football outside of Madden and Summerall, right? There has been no greater announcing than Frank Herzog, Sam Huff, and Sonny Jurgensen.
Oh, yeah.
And then when they added Rigo to it, it just went a whole nother level. Right?
It was awesome.
And obviously Sam Huff passed a few years ago as well. Dementia really bad.
Yeah.
Just great people, wonderful people. Guys that, again, you're talking about, these guys had jobs in the off season. They didn't make much money back then.
Yeah.
And Sonny Jurgensen really, and a lot of people will tell you, again, it was before my time, but a lot of people will tell you, had George Allen, which a lot of people love in the DC area, but had he not had such a conflict with Jurgensen and started Jurgensen in Super Bowl VII, that they would have beaten that 72 Dolphins perfect team.
Yeah.
But Jurgensen was a great quarterback. Again, that was back when, you prop your beer belly back up on their back or whatever.
Yeah.
The guys weren't athletes like they are now. And so, yeah, Dad told us so many stories about him, and then listening to him and Sam and Frank, we all have a time, and, condolences to his family. Just a legend that I loved growing up as a kid listening to.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah, prayers and thoughts to his family, and that's he was fantastic. Tons of memories, nostalgia. For us growing up, it was what we'll always remember for sure.
Sonny, Sam, and Frank, man.
Oh yeah, best for sure. All right, before we hop into the big game, let's talk Matthew Stafford, league MVP. I think. So
never doubt.
And it is beautiful to see Stafford finally get his flowers, right? In Detroit, he was in a situation where just kind of impossible. Put up gaudy numbers, was an amazing quarterback, but just never had the support to kind of get through. He goes out to LA. He's got a ring. Now he's got his first league MVP. He's coming back. And honestly, the way he played this year, I would expect to see Matthew Stafford for a few more years. I don't think he needs to hang it up anytime soon. I think he's still very, very capable. Obviously, he proved that this year. I don't think his career's, unless he goes out next year and wins it, and then he might ride off into the sunset. But I think he's got some left in the tank for sure. I think he proved that this year. But for me, it's just great to see him get the accolades, get the recognition, and finally get his flowers for a guy who has more than earned it in his career, been through a lot.
Yeah, 100%. Look, Matthew Stafford, all due respect to Drake May, and I think Drake May's had a great year. He ain't had a Matthew Stafford year. And so I'm glad that the league got this one right. Yeah. It also speaks to just at his age, and we're starting to see this more. And this is why I continue to say, until I found my guy, and I think Sam Darnold even proves my point even more.
Yeah.
I would draft a quarterback every year.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, if I had a quarterback that made the Pro Bowl, right? I'm still drafting the quarterback every year. I'm looking for the Matthew Stafford. I'm looking for the Joe Burrow. I'm looking for the Pat Mahomes, the Josh Allen. again, I think we give way too much credit in sports to mediocrity.
Yeah.
And then we don't give enough flyers to the people like Matthew Stafford. I mean, he was with a horrible organization until the daughter took over the Lions after passing and all that. And you just look at how she's turned the Lions around. But Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson lived through hell.
Yeah.
Right. And so now it's so good to see him.
Cut Calvin Johnson's career short.
Yeah. And I mean, the Rams, you know, what they've been able to do, you know, and it's crazy because they had a good thing going in St. Louis. And St. Louis, like everything else, runs it out of their city. That's why they have no city left. It just goes to, it speaks to, again, just the ownership and McVay and all that. And I hope Stafford's around. You're going to listen, and this is my big thing with Josh Allen. And I wish Drake May would listen to our podcast. Like, don't be running around so much. Yeah. Because longevity, like, you can't. I heard LeBron say this the other night. LeBron is struggling with father time, right? Game of football is a little different. When you start taking the hits because you're a running mobile quarterback, I have still yet to see a mobile running quarterback outside of Jalen Hurts last year win a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, Mahomes isn't a running quarterback. He can just kind of manipulate the pocket. And then, yeah, everybody's downfield 40 yards. So it looks good. Oh, look how well he runs. Well, nobody was within 25 yards of him. Of course, he picked up 22.
Hey, he's a little elusive.
But like these guys that just want to continue to run these quarterback options and quarterback sweeps, those aren't the guys. The Staffords, the Bradys, those are the guys you want because those are the guys that are going to be around. You know, another guy, he just never, his only shot, they choked. But Warren Moon was a guy, you know, he could move around a little bit, but he was a pocket quarterback. Elway could move around a little bit, but he was a pocket quarterback. Brett Favre could move around a little bit. He was a pocket quarterback. Like, that's how you win and you have longevity. And when I see these guys like Herbert and Allen trying to run people over, I'm just like, you're playing a dangerous game that's not going to end well for you.
Yeah, and what you'll do is you'll take years off your career, right? So you will significantly shorten if you continue to play that game. And you know, I don't want to see either of those guys' careers get cut short because they didn't kind of stand in the pocket. And you have to evolve, especially as you get older, and evolve to more of a pocket passer and use that run kind of sparingly. And I think it's more effective that way too, right? When you're not running every play, you can keep the defense a little more off balance. So,
I mean, the game against the Seahawks, like, things broke down. It was like 4th down and Stafford out of nowhere runs and dives, gets like, it's kind of like Elway in the Super Bowl, the whole helicopter, right? Like, if you need to, you can get 5 yards when you probably should have gotten only 2.
Yeah.
But like, when they're waiting for it, you're just a sitting duck to really get yourself injured.
Yeah, and Allen, especially, I feel like lately, this year he ran a lot. Last year he ran a lot. He's got to kind of calm that down a little bit, or his career is going to be much shorter than it should be, and that's not what we want for Josh Allen. So
no. I mean, he's I'm not sure on the head coaching hire. I'm skeptical on this whole Joe Brady thing, but hopefully.
I thought they'd bring Dable back. I'm kind of surprised they didn't.
I mean, you know. I don't know. I wait and see. I hope for the best, but I'm also shocked McDermott didn't get a job. That shocks me a little bit. So,
yeah. All right, let's jump into the big game. I know you got to get out of here quick, so let's talk about what we think about the Super Bowl. Line right now is 4.5 favoring the Seattle Seahawks. Who you like in this one? What are you thinking?
Well, look. BreakTheBoardSports.com. Follow me on YouTube. Again, BreakTheBoardSports.com. Promo code NFL50. You get all my plays. I'm on a heater layer, Choppy. Listen, I want to throw this out. You tell me what you think. I got a slew of bets.
Uh-oh.
No score the first 6 minutes of the game minus 130.
Yeah, I could see that.
You like that?
Yeah, I could see that.
So, before I go any further, I want you to tell me what you think. I'm very interested to hear your synopsis because if I know you, I already know what kind of garbage is about to roll out of that mouth and try to convince America of some preposterous thing.
No.
You can go ahead and have a ball, and then I'll chime in.
So here's my thing.
I already know what you're doing, so go ahead.
Here's my thing with this game. And I've gone back and forth on this, but here's what I feel. On paper, Seattle should roll in this game. Offensively, defensively, they should win comfortably. Okay. I'm not saying they're blowing them out by 20, but they should win comfortably. In Super Bowls, that rarely happens. So I just have a sneaky suspicion this is a very, very close game. I think that 3-4 points is probably right where you're going to fall. And I'm waiting to see if the Sam Darnold of old is finally going to show up. Or has he turned the corner and this is the new Sam Darnold? So I have this sneaky suspicion New England wins a close game, but Seattle should win this game, and they should win comfortably. And I'm not saying they're blowing them out, but there shouldn't be this like heart attack thing at the end of the game. Seattle, on paper, offensively, defensively, is the superior team. But Vrabel and New England, they got me a little spooked as to whether that's going to come to fruition. My play I love a 7-point with New England and the under because I don't see this as a particularly high-scoring game. I don't think we're lighting the world on fire. I like a 7-pointer. Take the Patriots, take the under. That's the play I like the most. I've gone back and forth this week, but that's the one I can wrap my head around.
How does Drake May play? What'd you say? What's your final score?
I haven't given one. I'd say like 24-20. I don't think this is a runaway. In Super Bowls, a lot of times we see really, really close games, and I think this ends up being one. I like your bet, no score for the first 6 minutes. I think the first half of this game is probably very low scoring. This could be like a 10-7 game going into the half, not anything crazy. Drake May has the potential to kind of open this up with his legs. I say for Seattle, I think one of the biggest things they need to be careful with is not letting him run a lot early and get comfortable because he's dangerous with his legs. And so I think they really have to play contain and keep him in the pocket. I mean,
Drake May over or under 35.5 rushing yards?
Over.
Really?
Like over. Yeah.
Wow.
Over. And see, that's the worry I have with Seattle is letting him run because he can. That's where you're going to get in trouble if you're Seattle. You have to contain him. If he takes that over 35.5, Patriots win this game.
Wow.
What?
Wow.
Just giving you my thoughts.
What else? What else are you seeing?
Like I said, low scoring. I think the Patriots just whatever it is with that organization, I just think they find a way late. But like I said,
Drake May over or under 222.5 passing yards?
Under.
I think so too.
Yeah. Under the passing, over the rushing.
So this is one I like. It's minus 124. Mm-hmm. Sam Darnold to complete over 19.5. So he's got to have 20 completions.
Yeah, love that. Absolutely.
Because here's my thing. I think Kubiak is going to throw a lot of short passes early. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Josh McDaniels is the wild card because he's been to a gazillion Super Bowls with Brady.
See, that's the thing. I'm just not.
So I think both head coaches and both offensive coordinators, which are geniuses, right? You got two defensive head coaches and two amazing offensive coordinators, right? I think everybody understands and is playing the same game, which is neither one of these quarterbacks can win the Super Bowl for you.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
They can, however, lose it for you. I know some people might say, well, what do you mean? Like you say, if the Patriots win, Drake May isn't going to play good? I didn't say that. I'm just saying I don't see Drake May going out there rushing for 40 yards, throwing for 250, and accounting for 4 touchdowns.
Well, for the people who would say that, Drake May has not played well in the playoffs, and they're in the Super Bowl.
And I don't think Sam Darnold can do the same thing. Now, he is putting up points, but I also think, listen, there's a reality. San Francisco couldn't get to the quarterback. They play a lot of zone, right? The Rams, all right, that was a little tougher, but the Seahawks, Rams, they kind of know each other. This New England defense, the thing with Seattle, Sam Darnold has looked really good because he can hand the ball off to Walker and Charbonnet. Charbonnet is no longer there. I love a lot of Milani, the second running back. He's going to get some catches. I like all his overs. But I think it's very important here. Like, neither one of these guys, and when I say this, Sam Darnold could have 2 touchdown passes.
He could. He probably will.
But it's going to be a lot of dink and dunk and a lot of JSN running free for 40 yards yak after a catch.
Yeah.
Or Shaheed taking a 4-yard screen, 23. It's not going to be because Sam Darnold is back there flinging it like Brett Favre in the Super Bowl. That's just not going to happen.
And if you're Seattle, that's not what you want. You don't want to put that on him. That's not a recipe for success for you.
I think both of these teams very much. I think Vrabel and Josh McDaniel are having the same conversation that McDonald and Kubiak are having, which is we can't let the quarterback kill us.
Yep.
So you're going to see a lot of 3 and outs, and I think you're going to see both teams rely on their defense. And I think you're going to see somebody wait for a mistake. Now, what I will say is I can see the Patriots winning a close one. I can see Seattle winning a close one. I can see Seattle winning in a blowout. The only outcome I can't see is New England winning in a blowout.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen.
You're not going to convince me New England's going to win the game 31-20 or 31-17. That's not going to happen.
No.
But I do think this whole thing is geared towards at least a first half under. Now, 23.5 is the total. The best bet you can make, and I gave it out for a 5-unit play, and you tell me what you think. It's a little 2-leg parlay.
Okay.
Because it's a hard time. This isn't a Super Bowl. This is a hard handicap for me.
It is. It's a tough game.
Because the Dogs have covered 5 or 6 straight and have won. The Dogs are on a roll. And this could be that one that just, like last year, just is a blowout.
Yeah.
Right? Because Seattle does have the ability to return a kickoff, next possession, May fumbles inside his own territory, and it's 14-0, and Seattle really didn't have to do anything offensively to get to 14-0.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I also, in my mind, think of, remember Seattle and Denver Super Bowl? Denver couldn't have got off to a worse start. First play of the game, snaps over his head.
Yeah. I remember that.
Then a punt return, a fumble return. Seattle scored 23 points on defense and special teams.
Yeah.
I think that has an ability to happen here.
Yeah.
Right? So New England's going to – if New England takes care of the football, it's going to be a close game. But you take the alternate total for the first half under 24.5.
Okay.
Because 14-13 or 17-10 would have to beat you. I just don't see. I think it's a lot of just both teams saying, let's not make a mistake early and get behind, and let's just get to the second half after the long halftime show that people aren't used to. After all the adrenaline, we can actually get down to playing football.
Kind of when the game starts is after that halftime.
Correct. And so I think both coaches are going to play for that. With that being said, I like the under 24.5, which it's minus $2, so you don't want to play it straight. Parlay it. This is minus at R15. Parlay it with Seattle flipping the line. So what I mean is you can go to FanDuel right now. It's minus 115. You can do the same thing at DraftKings. Seahawks plus 4.5 with the first half under 24.5. And if you can't win that bet, you're not winning anything in the Super Bowl. What do you think?
I like that. That's a good one.
Talk America out of it.
I don't think I can. I think it's a good one. I think I said it in my little synopsis. I think it's a low-scoring first half. I think 10-7 at most. I think these teams are going to feel each other out. Great defensive head coaches, great offensive coordinators. I can speak from experience. Vrabel-led defenses can give you fits, so be careful, Seattle. They can give you problems.
I also think here's another one, Chop. I also think this mirrors a lot the like when I think about, I was trying to compare it to a Super Bowl, right? Because there's not a lot of star power, I guess you could say. Is that the fair way to say it?
There's not.
And there was
a working man's Super Bowl. All right.
There you go. There was a lot of star power in that Rams Patriots Super Bowl when Goff was with the Rams, had McVay.
Yep.
There was star power, but like it was still 13-3. Like, I really think there's a chance that this thing is like one of those 13-3 type Super Bowls.
Could be.
Could you see that?
I could see. I think, and that's why I said I like the Patriots. Well, if you did a 7-point teaser, it takes them to 11.5, and it takes under 52.5. Is that right?
Yeah.
That's why I like that. I think it's low scoring, and I don't think anybody's getting blown out. I think this is going to be a very methodical, back and forth, low scoring, lots of 3-and-outs, punter, hope you're ready. You're going to need to be. I think it's that type of game. I think it's a struggle. I think this one's going to be. It's going to come down to what a lot of Super Bowls do, which is it's one in the trenches, right? It's one on the offensive and defensive line. I can see that being one of these games where you kind of beat each other up a little bit and it's low scoring because neither one of these quarterbacks are. I mean, have they had games where they've taken the ball and they've slung it around? Yeah, but I don't see either one of these guys just putting the team on his back and carrying them and throwing 5 touchdown passes. I just don't think that's this type of game. I think this is very close, very methodical, and you get like a 24-20, 27-24 maybe at most. I don't even think you get that many. You could see like a 17-13. That's just a really, really low scoring back and forth. I think it's going to be that type of game. Not that that's boring, because I think good defense is fun to watch, right? But I don't expect fireworks in this one for sure.
Now, how about this? Plus 175. How do you feel about both teams to make at least 2 field goals?
Love that. Love that.
Love that? Okay.
Love
what
that.
What do you think about longest field goal, over or under 49.5 yards?
Over.
Oh, over. Okay.
Take over.
What do you think about each team? It's like minus 120. What do you think about each team, Chop, to make at least a 34-yard field goal?
Like that, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like that. I think the kickers are going to be busy. Punters and field goal kickers are going to be busy in this one. I also like both teams turn the ball over, if that's a prop in there somewhere. I think you see a turnover from each side.
You think you see one each side?
I do. Yeah.
Now, MVP, can you see anybody outside of the quarterbacks getting it?
Ooh.
I can't see any running back getting it.
I could see Smith and Jigba maybe, just because he's.
But the problem is who's throwing him the ball, so he's calculating yards too.
Yeah, but I mean, I think here's the problem with the MVP. Typically, it's a quarterback award, right? It's a quarterback award for the season. It's a quarterback award in the Super Bowl. So yeah, I mean, probably Super Bowl. If anybody else, I could see in Jigba maybe snagging it just for yards after the catch, because I do agree with you. I think we're going to see a lot of underneath stuff, really short, get the ball out fast, quick over the middle slants, some screens. I think both offenses are going to rely on those types of plays heavy, especially in the first half. So you could see in Jigba, breaking a couple of those 40, 50 yards after the catch. He does that a couple times. I mean, I think that even though the quarterback threw it to him, I mean, he's doing all the work after it. I could see him him maybe getting it that way. But typically it's a quarterback award, unless you have a defensive player just go off. Couple picks, 2 or 3 sacks. But typically it's a quarterback award.
Can you see how do you feel about defense getting it?
I think with these defenses, both
is there somebody that has a Von Miller experience?
I don't think so, only because I think these units are so good because of all the individual pieces. You know what I mean? I mean, they have some standout players, but I think it's as units that make them so good. So it would be hard to probably zero in on one player specifically getting the defensive, just because as a unit, I think that's what makes these defenses so dangerous, not necessarily just one guy here or there, you know.
Could you see, here's one I think is an outlier. Christian Gonzalez is a beast, right?
Mm-hmm.
Christian Gonzalez to score a defensive touchdown, so like a pick 6 from Darnold, 600 to 1. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I put a little cheddar on that just for fun. Why not? Throw you a little fiver on there, folks.
And one more I want to bring out to you, and then we can get out of here. What about 16 to 1 odds Shaheed, because he can score on an end around?
Yeah.
He could score on a punt return. He could have a Desmond Howard type
anytime touchdown, Shaheed.
Huh?
You got to take him for an anytime touchdown.
Shaheed, hold on. Let me look at it right here.
What's the anytime touchdown?
I don't think his anytime is that high. It's 3.5 to 1. Now you could take him to have the first touchdown at 18 to 1.
I mean, I think the anytime touchdown for him is still a safe bet. Like, dude's getting in the end zone.
Yeah, you think so?
Yeah, probably.
All right, final score.
Dude, he's so dangerous from anywhere. That's the problem. Like,
final score.
I would say 23-20 New England. They went on a field goal to walk it off. And
I knew you were going to take
fashion.
I knew you were going to take New England. I knew it.
Dude, there's something in the water in Massachusetts. How have they gotten back to the Super Bowl before Josh Allen? How did it happen?
I knew you couldn't resist. I knew it. I knew you couldn't do it.
Well,
26-13 Seattle.
Okay. So you went completely the other direction. Normally we're pretty close. You went way out on.
I just can't. Seattle's just the better team. The only way Seattle loses this game is if Darnold goes out there and throws 3 picks.
Which here's the problem. He's due.
But he's also thrown 3 picks and thrown 5 touchdowns in the same. Like, I just look at what he did to.
I don't think anybody's throwing 5 touchdowns in this. That's the difference.
No, I think. Listen. Seattle's just better.
And I said that at the beginning. Don't get it twisted. They are the better team, offensively, defensively, special teams. They are.
Like, New England would have to outcoach Seattle so bad. And I know we talk about Drake May, and we talk about when Brady won his Super Bowl and Ben Roethlisberger, Drake May's second youngest, Roethlisberger was the youngest. But that Pittsburgh team was Jerome Bettis, quick slants to Hines Ward, Randall L. on punt returns, and a great defense. New England, yes, Brady had that last drive where he ripped it and gripped it. But other than that, it was a defensive showcase from that Patriots team. I think this holding this Seattle team to 26 is a good day's work.
Yeah.
Right? Like 26, I'm basically saying at that point, like they're going to score 2 touchdowns is all Seattle's going to score, but they're going to have 4 field goals.
Yeah.
Right? I think New England bends, but they don't break. Yep. I just don't see New England, that Seattle defense, they don't have the names. They don't have the Sherman and the Chancellor.
But I was just saying.
But I think they're just as good as that Legion of Boom.
Yeah, you can make that argument.
I think they're right there.
Stat to pay attention here early. Drake May's rushing yards. Pay close attention. Because if they cannot contain and keep him in that pocket, if they're letting him get out and run around, it's going to be a hard sell for Seattle. I think that's how New England turns this and wins a close game. Pay really close attention to Drake May's rushing yards. That'll tell you everything you need to know about how it's going.
-115, 5 units. Parlay the under 24.5 all first half total, and Seattle +4.5. That's all I got.
All right.
God bless you, folks.
Enjoy the weekend. God bless you guys. Lindsey Vonn, go kick some ass.
Go, Lindsey Vonn! You're a GOAT.
Yeah.